Time to cancel the cabal. With Stephen Roberts. On peoplesinternetradio.com.
All right, welcome everyone to another Tuesday afternoon here in America and Tuesday evening in Scotland, Ireland, elsewhere in the EU where this is going to be broadcast. I want to thank Andy Champagne for both of her Shake and Wake radio streams, Angel Espino for PSN Radio, and People's Internet Radio for the People's Internet Radio stream. I'm Stephen Roberts. This is Cancel the Cabal. This is just a very special, short little show before my regular show. Just a special. I have an author. His name is Michael Sanchez, American novelist, born in Florida. He is best known for his two suspense novels, Somber and Vine Street. He is currently working on a miniseries called Quarantine. He will also be a co-writer and actor in that little short miniseries, the same miniseries that I've been in since the beginning. Some may have seen some of the things. Hopefully a lot more people will see a lot more of the stuff that we're doing. But Michael's two books, let me get... I done lost that link there, but I got it back up. Vine Street. It says it was produced September 5th, 2018. And also Somber. Let me get that little link up there. It doesn't really say right off the right off the bat when you produced, when you wrote Somber, but first of all, Michael, let's welcome to the show.
Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. First, a little bit about your background. Don't really know a lot about you. It says you are originally from Florida, but you at some point in your life you must have moved up to New Jersey, was it?
Yes, I did. At a very early age, my mother couldn't stand the heat, so she ended up moving to New Jersey when I was a young boy, 2 years old. So
I know that.
That's where I grew up.
I know that, not being able to stand the heat very well. I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And until this day, she still won't move back over there. I tried to, but she refused.
Right. Well, my Scottish ancestors they didn't really like it either. I don't like the hot. It gets in the 90s here up in Michigan, and it's about 40 degrees too warm for me. But
that's
anyways, let's get into your background.
You figure coming from Spanish background, coming from a warm climate in Puerto Rico, that she would stand it, but no.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into your background a little bit, Michael. Your life.
Yes, as you were saying, I did grow up in New Jersey, South Jersey. I have a lot of memories back there. I still got a lot of family there. Great people, great family. But I've been around over the years. Spent some good time in Florida, North Carolina, and now I'm currently living in South Carolina. It's a beautiful state. About an hour and a half away from the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is just gorgeous.
Yes, I know all about that area. Been on there many times.
Yes.
What have you done in your life? How about your background?
Well, my education, I have an MBA and a bachelor's degree in management, also an AA in criminal justice. As a matter of fact, I did 16 years in law enforcement as well, so that's my background as well. I really enjoyed working with the people, helping others. I've also been in management, working in the pharmaceutical industry, manufacturing, you name it. I feel like I've done everything, jack of all trades, if you will. But back in 2014, just when I'm about to graduate from grad school, I figured, why shouldn't I get into writing? If I could write about 20 pages of classwork, I can write a book. So that's what motivated me, and went on from there.
How big are these books? How many pages? How many words?
Well, Vine Street was my first. It's only 84 pages long. So it's basically it's seen as a short story, but to me, it's I'm really proud of that one. My second book, Somber is about 198 pages long. I also enjoyed writing that. Currently, I'm working on a third book, and that'll probably be done in a year or so, depending on how much time I have.
Okay, so Vine Street's probably only about a 3.5 hour read then?
Probably so, depending on the reader. I think once the reader gets to open that book and gets to read the first few paragraphs, they'll be hooked and they'll enjoy that story.
Maybe a 4 hour read, huh?
Probably so, yes. They'll be worth it, yes.
Do any of these stories is Vine Street or Somber Town are they based off of life experiences or are they just total
Some of
fiction?
that, some are, especially Vine Street. Some of it is from life experiences. Some is from what other kids back in that age, at that time, that era in the '70s, what they went through, what I saw. It's a lot of poor neighborhoods. So the only thing you really had, and back then there were no video games, if you will. So all you had was your imagination.
Yeah, I
And so a
I
lot of
remember
it
those days.
inspired me to write the story. So some of it could be life experience, and some is just the imagination. I mean, because that's all we had back then.
Yeah, I was a '70s kid also. I remember those days.
Hmm. At Somber Town now, that was inspired from living in North Carolina for about 3 years, and some things I've seen in small towns there, and I was like, huh, this I could make a story out of this, and went from there. I really enjoyed writing that one, especially that one.
Are both or either of these books written from a law enforcement perspective, or just a
No,
Puerto Rican man perspective?
Puerto Rican band, just a creative writer, and just from imagination. It's no, not from law enforcement. I don't plan on writing anything regarding that. That's not my thing. I really enjoyed movies and whatnot from back then, from like Hammer Films and whatnot, and movies made from Alfred Hitchcock. Also love Stephen King books. I was inspired by his incredible mind and his creativity. The books he's written are just amazing. So that also inspired me. But I've always had a great imagination, so I figured, hey, I could write maybe just as good as he can, maybe someday. So give it a shot.
Sure, sure, I understand. What what would you like to? How would you like to get into Vine Street? How would you like to preface it for somebody that might be interested in it?
Well, Vice Street, anybody who grew up in that era back in the '70s can understand some of the some what's in it. What's in it?
Well, first of all, what is Vine Street?
Vine Street. Well, it takes place in the 1970s, of course, in South Jersey. It's about a boy,
I
maybe
mean,
between.
is it
Go ahead.
actually
Go ahead.
a street?
Well, Vine Street is it's a long street. Yes, it's
Okay,
I say about 10 blocks.
okay, it's in
10
Jersey
blocks,
then.
but it expands more than just Vine Street itself. But that's where it made the most of the part takes place.
Is it a culture? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, no, it's more of maybe so, maybe what kids did back then. But also there's more to it than that. There's more. Is what I'm trying to say? It's more what occurred at that time, but also, is it a dream? Is it real, or is it just a dream? So the reader has to decipher: is it real, or is it a dream? I mean, what's going on there? So that, but I think that'll entice the reader to figure it out. Okay, is this really going on? Is it a dream?
Uh
What is
huh.
it? So
Right.
it's
Right.
pretty neat,
Right.
especially when it involves a 10-year-old boy. They got imaginations, and boys can get into a lot of trouble. So I think that people will be like wondering, okay, what is he going to get
Well,
into next?
without any
So,
kind of spoilers, what's this boy about? What's this 10-year-old boy about?
well, it's 10-year-old boy, what any 10-year-old boys go through during the summer, especially when they're out of school. They get into things just like one of the parts there, the mom says, get into trouble, but don't get into too much trouble. but he gets into things that he's involved with or witnesses things that
Well,
boys see at that time.
I my mother told me quite a few times she wasn't going to bail me out of jail, so I had to act
That's, yeah,
accordingly.
that's right. That's right. The important thing is make sure you got home before the that pole light turned on at around 6 o'clock. So you make sure you better be home by that time.
Well,
That's for sure. That was
that
the golden rule.
there wasn't much of that, but she told me she was not going to bail me out of jail, and she was not going to raise any grandchild while I was still in school. So
It's funny you say that because especially in that area, it's pretty tough. You have to grow up pretty fast. The neighborhoods were they're pretty tough. A lot of drugs involved and gangs and so on. So my mother made sure I stood away from that, and I didn't have time for that. My thing was just to have fun and enjoy any
yes,
which way I
yes,
could.
yeah. I know all about that culture myself. I could have easily grown up in that culture, but
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's probably the reason why. The little town that I'm in Southwest Michigan, it's basically about halfway between Chicago and Detroit. So there was
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, yeah.
a
I can
lot of
say is that my mother did a for there were six of us, and she did an awesome job. I got to thank her every single day for what she did, and if it wasn't for her, I probably won't be here today. I mean, we were times we used to say, "Hey, are we going to make it to 18? Are we going to make it to 21?" Yeah, we used to put bets. We
I
were
did
kids.
too.
Are we going to make it to this? Because
Uh,
it was scary,
that
very
makes
scary times.
that reminds me of a funny story I've said on air quite a few times. 1984, I was 20. Um, Me and a friend bet each other that we would never see the year 2000. That was 16 years later
Wow,
on.
it's amazing.
Yeah, we just said we're never going to see the year 2000. It's just not going to happen.
It's scary because, like I said, that back in those days, I lost friends because of the culture, if you will, and what was going on during that time. And like I said, my mother made sure we stood out of trouble, and
Yeah.
I tried to stay away from it. Sometimes it was there. You just
Yeah.
had to try to get out of it the
Oh, I
best
know
that
it.
you could. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no less than uh, five boys that I went to school with that never seen the age of 25. So I know what you're
Sad.
talking
Yeah, I
about.
saw plenty of that.
Never
Yes.
made it to the age of 25. Three of them didn't even make it to the age of 21.
What a shame. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've lost many of friends back then, and I thank the good Lord that He gave me this opportunity to talk to you now. To say, hey, I grew out of that environment, and I could tell that the kids over there, especially in South Jersey, there's always a way out. Never allow anybody to tell you
Yes,
that you can't.
that's
If you
right.
have a dream, go for it.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? Don't stay in that environment. Get out of there
Yep.
and move forward.
You know,
Never allow anybody to do that.
I see the perspective of a young boy, 14, 15, 16 years old. Um, he might have a kid that he grew up with earlier, the same age as him. He's studying like crazy, trying to get good grades, trying to do good for himself, and he sees this other kid that he's known for years, 15 years old. He can't even drive, but he has a $90,000 Lexus, and he has girls hanging on his arms, and he has money falling out of his pockets.
Mm.
It's very enticing,
Yes,
and I get
yes, it
that.
is. Yes, it is. Yeah, I never got caught up in that, and I think I did what was called the man in the mirror moment, if you will, especially by the time I got 15. You know what I mean? I was going left or right, which one I was going to
Yeah.
take, and
Yep.
I had to make the right decision, if you will.
Yep.
And I'm glad I did. I definitely found the right people, and with my mother's help as well, and her strong will, and
Yep. What's that called? I mean,
I
there's a metaphor for that, like the high road and the low road, or something like that, or
yep,
yeah,
yep, yep. So I took the right road.
the right road.
That's
Correct.
definitely a
Yeah.
fact.
Well, I
Took the
did
right
too.
road.
Yes,
Hmm.
I did too. Um, Not going to get in particulars, but there's a family member that He was basically the biggest drug dealer in my area, so
Wow.
I could have easily gone
Yes.
somewhere different.
Yes. Yes. And and it's funny you said that because you don't want to appear to be like a sellout or in any way, or oh, you think you're better than me or whatnot. No, it's just a matter of just keeping yourself straight, staying out of trouble. And mom was God, so I made sure I followed what God said and went on from there. Yes.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
what is this? What is Vine Street about then?
Mostly, as I said, it's about what a young boy, 9, 10 years old, goes through in summer of '78. He's involved in things or witnesses things that occur in that summer. Some of it is good, some of it's bad, some of it could be all a dream. The whole thing could be just a dream. Is it reality? Is it
Yeah.
a dream?
Yeah.
But it pretty much just talks about what that time frame and what the boys did back then in South Jersey, and it's pretty cool. Anybody who grew up in that era can understand exactly what he's going through or what he's witnessing and whatnot, and really enjoy it.
I'll bet you or this 10-year-old boy would have seen a lot of the first street rap, street
Back in
dancing.
those days, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
I
yes.
know.
It
I
was
seen a lot of it.
incredible times.
I seen a lot of it
Incredible times.
in Chicago when I was younger too. I would be able to go to the city and I would be able to hear and see the first people doing that kind of stuff in Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But it wasn't too bad because if you've seen it in movies or whatnot, kids are break dancing and doing all that stuff. It was okay because they weren't hurting each other. They were just expressing themselves
I
in a
mean,
way
there's
where I'm sorry.
all kinds of people standing along,
Yep,
standing
yep,
alongside, even the police standing
yep.
alongside, enjoying
Holding
it
around
too.
those boom boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Those are great times. Those are great
Yes, it
times.
was. Yes, it was. Much better times.
Yep.
Well, I guess we can get into Somber Town a little bit. What is Somber
Yeah,
Town about?
Summertown. It takes place in the East Coast, North Carolina. Of course, it's a fictional town. Um, uh, Pretty much, it deals with events that a lot of the residents there don't know that it's happening. And there are a few characters in this story that are involved in it, and they're trying to stop the mayhem from a few unsavory characters in there that really causing some mayhem. And it's
What
pretty interesting.
what time frame is Somber Town set in?
Also in the '70s, as
Seventies.
you can see, I love the '70s, and '70s are good times. And I think maybe it's because of those great books that were written back then, and those great movies. Halloween was one of the biggest. I love the movie Halloween, and that definitely inspired me as well. So the '70s were great times, and so
That's the one with
I seem to resonate more on the '70s for some reason.
that's the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, yeah, the original. Yes,
Yeah.
anything with the original, it's good. John Carpenter was awesome. I love his work.
Uh huh.
But of course, Stephen King's his first few, Carrie and Pet Cemetery and all those great books, they were awesome. So
Cujo,
I love the '70s. Yes. hmm
Cujo, and Christine, and
Cujo and Christine, oh, I love that. I've seen them a million times, read those books. It was awesome, awesome, great stuff,
I've
great
never
stuff.
actually read any of his books. I've seen some of the
Really?
movies and all that. Yeah, I've seen the movies and all that, but
Yeah, The Stand. I think I read maybe half of it. It was just too long, and but it's still interesting. Man has an incredible mind. So
which one's this?
I, The Stand
The Stand. Okay,
from
sure.
Stephen King. Yeah, it's just amazing stuff. It just amazes me what comes out of his mind. But then again, it amazes me what comes out of my mind. I mean,
Uh huh.
I am just proud of these two books, and I'm only getting better.
Yeah.
And currently working on my third project, and I can't wait to get that done.
What would um what would somebody expect to see in Somber Town or read in it?
Um, Anybody who resides in especially in the South, uh, in especially in North Carolina. You know, you have different dialects and whatnot. A couple characters in there, some from the south, some from the north. So you have different languages and whatnot. They speak a little different and whatnot, different dialects. But it's pretty cool. And you know, it's a small town that you know, most of their livelihood it counts on what they make through the beach because it's like a beach town. So you know they got to make money from whatever they sell at the beach, and you know from people who come visit the town. That's where they make their money. But there's more involved than that. But there's a lot of politics involved, especially in small towns. A lot of politics, and you know everybody's trying to outdo each other, trying to maneuver to get to the top. You know, and you know that, and you know you got the small law enforcement community there, very small. That's also there, and it's just incredible. It's more about you know how what it may not be what the people think it is. You know, it sounds like a nice quiet community, but it can be more than just that, and it's more than just quiet.
Well, a lot of the times that's where the big bosses live, and as those small quiet towns.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That's where they hide. That's where they definitely hide. And sometimes you see things, you're like, you stretch your hair, like, wow, this
Yeah.
is really going on.
Well,
And people don't see it.
my little town here, like I said, it's halfway between Chicago and Detroit. There was actually two houses that Al Capone had way back in the
Wow.
day, back in the 30s and 40s. He had two safe houses. Somebody around this area owned them, and he would be able to come in the area whenever the heat was on him. Uh, there was one local restaurant. The man's name was Frankie Ferrucci. His restaurant was called Frankie's, and Al Capone would go to Frankie's whenever he was in town. So
Wow, that's interesting.
Frankie Ferrucci put out the red carpet for him all the time, and
It's funny how you say that because in the book there is a part there where there's the only diner there, the only one, and everybody goes there. So you know everybody talks about everybody else's business, and you know everybody's there because that's the only place, the only
right, right,
restaurant, if you will. So they go there, and everything. A lot happens there. A lot said.
local
A lot of
hangout, huh?
rumors. We got a local hangout. A lot of rumors. You know, people talk. Small community. You know how that goes.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I know you must have. I know you got a brand new authors page on a thing that I don't want to mention. I don't know if anybody. I don't know. You want to mention them, right? You said you didn't really want to, but people have to find you somewhere. How can they
Yeah,
find
it's
you?
on the author page on Amazon. Just brand new. I just did that today. Hope people could look into it. We'll talk about more about me, about the books. There's also a nice little trailer there that just we just made. It's awesome,
Yes, it
and
is. Yeah.
I think that folks will like seeing that. I like it. It's pretty good. So they can see that, and also they can find it in Teresa Graves' website as well. I've joined her, and
TresaGraves.com.
TeresaGraves.com. Yes, she's a great people. She's a great group of people. You as well. Some awesome people, and I've
Thank you.
joined the production crew, and I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yes. Well, do you have any other social media you'd like to plug?
Oh,
Or
also, yeah, you could also find me on Twitter and on. I'm also on Instagram as well. You can find me there as well.
okay, Michael Sanchez. In case people don't really know how to spell that, it's Michaelsanchez. And well, do you have anything you'd like to say for a minute or something like that? Or
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and I hope people will look into these books and enjoy them, and hopefully they give me some good feedback. I'm excited, and I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity.
well, you're welcome. Hopefully, it will get some more exposure on YouTube and TresaGraves.com and some of the other social media. So, uh,
Awesome.
thanks again, Michael.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
Time to cancel the cabal. With Stephen Roberts. on peoplesinternetradio.com.